Hey y'all, this is On Point with Miss Britt. So today I'm going to discuss week 2 college football recap. There was a lot of upsets this week, so let's get into it. And of course, I'm going to start off with the Ohio State Buckeyes, my Buckeyes. So this week we went against Arkansas State, won 45-12. The defense looked really shaky. We had 9 penalties, and I heard Ryan Day address this in the media. They're going to get that together because that was unnecessary. That was, we got to fix that. We looked really shaky. We had unsportsmanlike conduct. We had a lot of offside penalties. So he already addressed that. We're going to get that fixed. However, we turned that offense around. We looked a lot better. So we're now starting to get it rolling. We are still missing Jackson Smith and Jigma and Julian Fleming. So hopefully they come back in the next couple of weeks. Then we'll be at full strength. Our offensive player of the game was Marvin Harrison Jr. He had 3 touchdowns and 184 yards. CJ Stroud went off 351 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was 16 for 24. And then, of course, Travion Henderson, he does what he does. 10 carries, 87 yards. He had a touchdown or 2 touchdowns as well. So we're getting that offense rolling. I'm happy. I'm good. Moving on to Toledo on Saturday at 7 p.m. Now, next was the game and almost an upset of the week. We had Alabama versus Texas, unranked Texas to be exact. And Alabama narrowly escaped 20-19. Now let's get into it. Now everybody knows about that controversial roughing the passer call, which it should have been a safety. Texas would have been up. They would have been up that extra 2 points. But they reversed the call and called a roughing the passer, and that was a horrible call. Horrible call. And I know everybody's been upset about that. That was the thing of the game. Also, Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers, he went down the first half. He got hit really bad by Dallas Turner. So now he's out with a sprain for about 2 to 3 weeks. So I hope that he gets well. But everybody knows if Quinn was still in the game, it would have been a wrap for Alabama because they was looking real bad. And another thing, the end of the fourth quarter, or towards the end of the fourth quarter, it was about 35 seconds left. Never give Alabama that much time to make it down the field because they going to do what they got to do. Bryce Young, he was in a scramble. There was a missed tackle. This dude goes for 20 freaking yards. So he got them down the field it didn't even matter what happened. He set them up for a 33-yard field goal. So, that's how they won. It's all good. But we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. We'll see if they have more adversity and challenges. So Bryce Young, he ended up with 213 yards and a touchdown. And he literally got saved by the grace of God because that dang one scramble. So the first upset game of the day that I'm going to speak on is Appalachian State and Texas A&M. Boy, was that a game. Man. Appalachian State, they came out swinging in the second quarter. Texas A&M returned the favor, and then things started going south. First, Evan Stewart, he's a freshman on Texas A&M. He fumbles the ball trying to get extra yards. But no worries, they're going to come back. Devin Etienne, he had a huge 95-yard touchdown run to get Texas A&M back in the game. And then Texas A&M, they missed a 47-yard field goal. And that would have easily tied the game so they could go into overtime. But instead, Appalachian State, they won 17-14. Poor them. So sad. Next upset, we had Florida versus Kentucky. So, the first half of the game, Florida looked good. They had it in the bag. Trevor Etienne, he scored a 12-yard touchdown run, and he also scored the 2-point conversion to give them a lead after they had just picked off the ball from Kentucky. And then it looked like Kentucky, it was just getting worse for them. They ended up having a snap issue on the punt, which resulted in a safety for Florida. So right now, Florida's up at the half. They looking good, and then things get bad. Jason Wright of Kentucky had an interception, and it turned the game around for Kentucky and put them in good field position. Keidron Smith, he gets a pick six in a 65-yard touchdown run. Kentucky ended up winning the game 26-16. And Richardson for Florida's quarterback, Lord, this dude, he threw 2 interceptions. He couldn't make any completions the second half. I mean, it just was a horrible game for him. Just was not looking good. So Kentucky's quarterback, Will Levis, he ended up with 202 yards, 202 yards, a touchdown, an interception, and then he ran for a touchdown. So good job, Kentucky, knocked off Florida. Other upsets we had BYU over Baylor, 26-20. We had Washington State over Wisconsin, 17-14. And then we had Marshall over Notre Dame, 26-21. All right, so I'm moving on to my ladies. The WNBA finals have started. If you missed it, it's the Aces versus Suns. The Aces took game 1, 67-64. Asia Wilson went off for 24 points, 11 rebounds. Chelsea Gray, she had 21 points. Game 2 is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. That's all the updates I have for you today, and I'm out.